all about tight hips. So if you are someone that is constantly stretching out your hips, then perhaps you need to strengthen your hips rather than just stretch them out all the time. So this is a great one if you're looking at strengthening your hips, but also it's also going to help improve the range in your hips as well. Also, comment below. I'd love to know which movement do you do, and you find that your hips are kind of restricting you while you do it. Comment below. I'd love to hear. So we're going to start in a tabletop position, and we're just going to move through our hips. So we're going to just come through some cat and cows, but I want you to focus on initiate the move from your hips to start with. So we're going to bring our hips out, our gaze forward. Then we're going to tuck our hips in, rounding our back, bring your gaze down. So we're just going to do 5 of these. Moving our hips, coming aware of our hips, bringing them in, pushing our hands into the floor, bringing our gaze down. And then bringing our hips out, gaze forward. And again, bring your hips in. And bring your hips out. Couple more. Hips in, push your hands away. Gaze forward, hips come out. Okay, one more. And then come back to that neutral position. So this time we're going to bring our right knee up to the sky. And I want you to imagine you've got a little ball in between your knee and you're keeping that ball there. You're going to then gaze forward, drop your chest. And we're going to exhale. We're going to round our back, bringing our nose to our knee. And again, inhale, you're going to bring your knee up, gaze forward. On the exhale, you're going to bring that knee into your chest. Can you get your nose to your knee? One more time, knee comes up, gaze forward. And exhale, you're going to try and get your nose to your knee or even your forehead. I'm not quite there. And then back. Place it down on the floor. Just wiggle your hips side to side. This time we're going to bring our knee back up again. And we're going to make a nice big circle with that right knee. So you're going to bring your knee up to the sky. You're going to bring it out to the side, keeping your hips facing down. You're now going to bring it back into the middle and then back out behind. So we're going to do 3 big circles like this. So out to the side, into the middle, out behind. While we do this, I want you to think about doing it slow and controlled. So you're owning each range that you go into. And you're trying to make as big of a circle as you can with that hip joint. And I don't want you to compensate with any other movements by leaning to the side or opening up that hip. Your hips are facing down and we're just moving that hip joint. Once you've done 3 the one way, we're now going to reverse it. So you're going to bring it back in to your chest, bring it out to the side, bring it out behind. So you're going to do 3 big circles now, the opposite direction. All the way in. Nice big circle. And then bring it back into your chest. Now you're going to bring it out behind, but this time we're going to straighten out our leg. And we're just going to bring it to the left side of our body. Keeping our hips down, try not to open up our hips. We're just going to gentle rocks, forward and backwards. Creating some space in that hip capsule. We're just going to do 8 rocks, forwards and backwards. Beautiful. Good. Once you've done 8, you're just going to bring your leg back behind. You're going to bring it back behind. And then this time, we're going to bring our leg out to the side. So we're just going to place our right foot out the side, place it down. And we're just going to add some more rocks here. So forwards and backwards. So you're kind of like in a half frog position. Hips come back. I want you to think about driving your hips back rather than tucking your tailbone in. So sticking our bum out like a happy cat position. At the beginning where our gaze is forward and our hips are back. This is the position we want. Good. Now from here, we're just going to lift our right leg off the floor and we're going to hover it for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to place it back down on the floor, and then we're going to do 5 little pulses. So we're going to bring it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, then come back into your rocks. So again, pushing your hips back in like that happy cat position. We're just going to do 5 rocks. And you should feel a stretch in your adductors, which is like your groin area. And then we're going to come back into that 5-second hold. So you're going to lift your right leg off the floor. We're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to come into those 5 pulses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And place it down. Come back into those rocks. It's a bit spicy. So we're working that abduction of the hip and that side glute medius while we're doing that. Okay. Bring your leg back out behind, bend it, gaze forward, drop your chest, and then we're going to bring that knee back into your chest, holding it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. Okay, so just bring your knees together, and we're just going to bring our hips side to side. So just kind of balancing on the side of your knee. It's just a nice one to do in between. Just do a couple each side. And then we're going to move on to the left side. So same thing. You're going to bring your knee up to the sky. Imagine that ball's in between your knee crease. We're going to inhale, gaze forward, drop your chest. And on the exhale, we're going to bring our knee to our nose, if you can. Inhale, bring your knee behind, gaze forward. Exhale, knee to nose. Can you get it to your forehead? Have a go. And again, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forehead to knee. And then back out. You can just place it down, wiggle your hips a little bit if they're burning. And we're going to come into those hip curls now to the left side. So you're going to bring your knee back up to the sky, gaze forward. We're going to bring it out to the side. We're going to bring it into our chest. Back out behind. So slow and controlled, owning that range. Think about making a nice big circle in each direction, keeping your hips facing down. Try not to compensate by leaning or opening up those hips. We're going to do 3 big circles the one way. Then once you've done 3 the one way, we're going to reverse. So reversing it into our chest, then out to the side, then back out behind. 3 big circles the other way. Remember to breathe. Try not to hold your breath. Focusing on each range. Okay, last one. And then you're going to bring your leg out straight. We're going to bring it to the right side of our body. And we're going to come into that hip capsural stretch again. We're creating some space in that hip. So just rocking forwards and backwards. Trying to keep your hips facing down. Try not to open them up. And we're just going to do 8 rocks. So forwards and backwards. Good. Once we've done 8, we're then going to swing that leg out to the left side. And we're just going to come into like a half frog position, foot facing down, and we're just going to rock forwards and backwards. So 8 of these. And when we're in this position, I want you to think about driving your foot into the floor. And again, keeping your hips out in that happy cat position. Rather than tucking that tailbone, we want to stick our hips out. Good. Ooh, my foot's cramping a little bit then. Right, now onto the spicy bit. So you're going to take a deep breath. And we're going to lift our leg up into the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place it down. And we're going to come into 5 pulses. So lift it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and then back into your rocks. Whew, we're going to do that one more time. So 8 little rocks back and forth, driving your foot into the floor. Are you ready? Contestants ready? Gladiators. Anyway, okay, so we're going to lift it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then back into those rocks. Lovely. Just a few more rocks. And then bring that knee back in. Come back into that kind of rocking side to side action with your knees are together. Good stuff. Right. Now we're going to move on to working that hip in, that extension. So we're going to have our right foot forwards. So if you're someone that struggles with lunges, or if you just sit down all day, then this is a great one to do. It's also going to help with your flexibility. So if your goal is the splits, then this is a great one. Right, so first off, we're going to come into a long lunge. So maybe start off with like a short lunge if you haven't done much of this, and then you can increase it each round by making it longer, which is going to make it harder. So key things, we're going to tuck that back tailbone. So tuck it, and I want you to imagine someone's pulling on your head, making yourself nice and long. When we're in that position, we're then just going to lean forwards into this lunge. We're just going to hold it here, take a few breaths, get nice and comfortable, feel that stretch in your hip, open that hip a little bit. And then we're going to make it a little bit spicy. So you can have your hands on the floor while we do that, which is going to make it easier. Or you can take your hands away, and that's going to make it more intense. So you're just going to tuck your your toes into the floor. We're going to drive that back knee off the floor. And I want you to imagine you're trying to get your heel to the back of the room. So you're lengthening that leg, and you're just going to lean forwards, and we're going to hold this position for 5 seconds, and you can place your hands on the floor if it gets too much. Okay, so ready? Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your knee down on the floor, untuck your toes. Now we're going to hold this lunge again, so tucking that tailbone, but this time maybe we're going to make it a little bit longer. So you're bringing that stance longer, which is going to increase that intensity of the stretch. So just take a deep breath. You don't have to increase it. If it's too much, then just stay where you are. If you do want to make it a little bit more spicy, then do that. Remember to breathe. We want to tell our nervous system that it's okay. So we breathe deeply. If we find that we are holding our breath, then the stretch is probably too intense, so just come out of it. Okay, we're going to go back into that hold. You're going to tuck your toe. You're going to drive your knee up. You're going to lean forwards. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so are you going to make it longer? We're going to do one more. So maybe we're going to make it a little bit longer. It's going to be a little bit more intense, but we want strong hips. So this is what we got to do. Okay, strong, mobile hips. This is a great one. Okay, so we're going to tuck your toes again if you let them go flat. We're going to lift that knee off. So now we might be in a really long lunge. It's going to be a lot harder. So we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I don't know why I make it so hard for me when I do these classes. Okay, just kind of floss it out. It's quite a tricky one. Your hips can get quite stiff after. So just come into this floss in action. We're bringing our knee forwards and then straighten our leg. Just do a couple of that, and then we're going to move on to the other side. Okay, so left leg this time. Left foot forwards. Same idea, we're tucking that right tailbone. So squeezing that right glute, making ourselves nice and long. And then we're just going to sit into this stretch. So holding this stretch, feel that nice stretch in the front of our hips. Nice deep breaths. You know what's coming. So options to have your hands on the floor to make it easier, Option 2 is to take it away to add more intensity. Are we ready? I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this. So tuck your toes, bring your knee off the floor. We're going to lean forwards. We're going to drive that heel to the back of the room for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place it down, untuck your toes. And then you know what's coming. Are we going to make it a little bit longer? Yes, we are. You are. Do it. Do it right now. So holding this, breathing deeply, keep tucking that tailbone. Okay, ready? Tuck your tail. I keep saying tuck your tail. Tuck your toes. Drive that knee off the floor. Lean forwards for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place it back down. Okay, if you want to make it harder, we're going to make that lunge longer. Take a deep breath here. Maybe I'll go a little bit longer. Little bit. If I'm going longer, you're going longer too. Okay, we're going to tuck our toes. We're going to lean forwards. We're going to bring that knee off the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay, come back into that flossing action. So bring your hips back and forwards. This feels nice to do after that one, because that can be quite spicy. My partner was watching some of my videos the other day, and he was like, "Oh, you said that word again." And I was like, "What word do you want about?" He was like, "Spicy is your word." And I was like, "Do I say spicy a lot? Do I?" Didn't realise, and then I just realised then that I do say it quite a lot. Okay, now we're going to come onto our bottoms, and we're going to work our hip flexor end range strength. So this gets neglected a lot of the time, and it might be one of the reasons why your hips are tight. So let's strengthen that in the end range. So this again can be quite a spicy move. So we're going to strip it back, and I'm going to give you progressions if you want to make it harder. So let's say level 1, you're going to bring your hands behind your back, and we're just going to do one leg at a time. So we're going to do some lift holds. You're going to lift your leg up like this. Now, if you want to make it harder, all you have to do is bring your hands more forwards, and that's going to make it a lot more intense. So you choose your intensity, where you put your hands, and that is going to determine how hard it's going to be. Okay, I'm just going to place my hands here. It's quite comfortable for me. Firstly, we're going to take a deep breath. And on the exhale, we're going to push our hands into the floor, and we're going to lift our right leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it. Take a deep breath. Push your hands into the floor. This time we're going to lift our left leg off the floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it off. Inhale. On the exhale, we're going to push our hands out, and we're going to lift them both off the floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shaky, shaky. Shake it off. Okay, so if you were perhaps behind your back then doing it, then maybe this round we're going to make it a little bit harder for yourself. Or just stay at the same place if you're comfortable with doing it like that. Okay, so we're going to do one more round. So take a deep inhale. Exhale, put your hands on the floor. We're going to lift that leg up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, shaking. Inhale. Exhale, put your hands into the floor. Lift it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shaky, shaky. Deep inhale. Push your hands into the floor. We're going to lift both of them up this time for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Just shake it off. Ooh. Okay, we're going to come into our last stretch now. So we're going to have our feet together. If you are by a wall, then doing this against the wall is easier. I have no wall, so I'm just going to do it like this. But if you are or got a sofa, do it up against the sofa. So we're going to put our hands on our ankles and we're just going to push our knees down to start with. So just going to hold this passive stretch, and then we're going to come into some fun stuff, pails and rails. There's going to be two phases of it. So the first phase, you're going to push your knees into your elbows into your knees. We're creating resistance for 10 seconds. And then you're going to push your knees down, take your hands away, just pushing your knees down as far as you can for another 10 seconds. Okay? So when I say, we're going to do that. So ready? So push your knees against your elbows into your knees for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now take your hands away. Now just push your knees down to the floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just shake it off, going back into that passive stretch. So this is a really good one for your adductors and your groin. Work on the strength as well as the flexibility. So just shaky, shaky. We're going to do one more set of that. So just holding that passive stretch. Nice deep breaths. Okay. So we're going to push down on our knees into our elbows for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your hands away, push your knees down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just come into some flutters, up and down. Flutter, flutter, little flutter. And just last one, we're just going to finish off now with just some nighty-nighties. Nice one to finish off. So just bringing your knees to the one side and then slowly bringing your knees to the other side. So your feet nice and wide, and then your knees are just come into a 90 degrees, both of them. So back and forth. And we'll finish off with this one. So just do a couple each side. Loosen up those hips. And we're finished on that. Thank you so much for watching. This is every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Perth WA time zone. Please subscribe to my channel and join my community. Every week I'll put kind of what you guys want to have the video on. Is it going to be shoulders? And then there's a poll, and then you can just choose what next week you want it to be. So join that, and then you get a little pick of what the lives are going to be. Have a lovely day. I'll see you in my next live. And bye-bye.